Let's talk about one of the biggest shifts happening in technology right now. It's all about how we build software. We're moving way past AI as just a helpful assistant, and we're entering a brand new era of true collaboration. This is about to change the very nature of how we create things.
Okay, so let's break this down. For the last couple of years, we've gotten used to AI as an assistant, right? It completes our code, helps squash a bug, or handles some simple one-off task. But this new paradigm, it's a whole different ballgame. We're talking about AI as a collaborator, something that can build entire systems, work in coordinated teams of other agents, all while operating under our strategic direction.
And this quote from Anthropic's new report, it just nails it with one word: orchestrate. That perfectly captures the new role. You're not writing every single line of code anymore. Instead, the engineer becomes the conductor, guiding this powerful team of AI agents to create something complex and beautiful. It's a huge shift from implementation to pure direction. So what do we call this? The term that's really catching on is agentic coding. Let's just unpack that for a second. These aren't just tools, they're autonomous agents. You give them a goal and they can actually create a plan and execute a whole series of complex steps to get there. But the most important part is that last bit, with strategic human oversight. The human is still the architect, the one in charge of the big picture. Okay, so that's the big idea. But what does this actually look like day to day? How does the work of building software fundamentally change when you suddenly have AI collaborators on your team? And when you look at it this way, it all clicks into place. This isn't coming out of nowhere. We're at the next major step in a long journey of abstraction in computing. We went from ones and zeros to high-level languages like C to these powerful frameworks and libraries. Every single step moved us further from telling the machine exactly how to do something and closer to just telling it what we want. Agentic orchestration is just the next logical leap. So here's the absolute core of it. An engineer's value is shifting. It's becoming less about the technical skill of writing perfect code and much more about the strategic skills, things like architecture, system design, and honestly, deciding what problems are even worth solving in the first place. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Anthropic's research found what they call a collaboration paradox. So engineers are using AI in about 60% of their work, which is a lot. But they're only fully delegating less than 20% of their tasks. So what's with the gap? It seems like it's because these are not fire and forget tools. Real collaboration means a constant feedback loop. It needs active supervision, careful checking, and the kind of nuanced human judgment that AI just can't do on its own yet. All right, so we get it. The way we work is changing. But what can these new agents actually do? This is the fun part. We've all seen the first wave, right? Single agents that handle one-shot tasks. You ask it to write a function, fix a bug, and poof, it does it. It's incredibly useful for sure, but that's really just the starting line. Because this is where it gets crazy powerful. We're moving from a single assistant to multi-agent teams. Think of it like building a house. Instead of one person trying to be the plumber or the electrician and the carpenter, you have a general contractor. That's your orchestrator agent. It takes the big goal, breaks it down into specialized jobs, and then hands them off to expert sub-agents who can all work at the same time. Then the orchestrator pulls all that work back together into one finished product. And because you have that whole team working together, you get this absolutely massive leap in capability. We're now seeing these long-running agents that can work on their own for hours or even days on a really complex project. They can build whole systems, only checking in with a person for guidance at those key strategic moments. Now, if that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, just look at this. This is a real-world example. At Rakuten, an agent was told to implement a complex new feature inside a massive 12.5 million line code base. It did the whole job all by itself in just 7 hours. I mean, that's a level of power that just changes the game completely. Okay, so when you have technology this powerful, what are the actual consequences out there in the real world? What does this all mean for businesses, for productivity, and for security? Now, this is really interesting. You'd think the biggest benefit would just be raw speed, right? Doing the same old stuff, but way faster. And that's a huge part of it, about 73%. But look at that other slice. A full 27% of this work goes toward brand new tasks, projects that companies just wouldn't have bothered with before because they weren't cost effective. So we're not just going faster, we're actually expanding the realm of what's even possible. And the scale of this impact is just wild. I mean, take TELUS. They've saved over 500,000 work hours by rolling out more than 13,000 of these custom AI solutions inside their company. These aren't theoretical gains. This is happening right now. And this might be one of the most exciting trends of all, the democratization of who gets to build things. This power is breaking out of the engineering department. You've got lawyers at Legora creating their own complex automations. You've got design teams at Zapier building their own real-time prototypes. That old, hard line between people who code and people who don't is starting to get really, really blurry. Of course, with any tool this powerful, there's always a flip side. It's a classic double-edged sword, especially with security. For the good guys, it's amazing. Any engineer can suddenly do a pretty sophisticated security review. But for the bad guys, it helps them scale their attacks too. It just makes it more critical than ever that we build security into these systems from the absolute ground floor.
So let's bring all this home. After seeing all this, what does it actually mean for you? The single biggest takeaway is this fundamental shift in identity for anyone who creates things.
So, looking ahead, what should be on your radar? Well, based on all these trends, 4 priorities really jump out for the next year or so. We've got to master how to coordinate these agent teams, figure out how to scale up our human oversight, keep pushing these tools out beyond just engineering, and, of course, bake security in from day one. And look, if you only take away one thing from all this, let it be this quote. The goal here is not to remove humans from the loop. It's about elevating them. It's about automating away all the tedious tactical work so that our uniquely human expertise, our judgment, our creativity, our strategic vision can be focused on the problems that matter most. Which leaves us with this final, really powerful thought. For decades, the hardest question in technology has always been, how do we build it, or is this even possible? We are very quickly entering a world where technical possibility is no longer the main bottleneck. The new, much more important question is a human one. When AI can build pretty much anything you can imagine, what will you decide is truly worth building?